Well, it's Friday, October the 3rd. Today's video is going to be all about Canadian edition Golden Age comics. I had these graded at CGC. There's quite a few, so grab a cup of coffee. In fact, I'm going to get a cup of coffee shortly. And we're going to go through these comics. They will be for sale. I'm going to put them up for sale probably this month or next month. Before Christmas, anyway. Some of them are the only ones graded at CGC, so top pop, or they are the top pop. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy your day out there. Have some fun. That's what it's all about. All right, I'm going to start with 24 comics. These are in alphabetical, believe it or not. I took the time, and wife helped me, of course. Archie Comics number 38. It's from 1949. Bell Features. I believe there's one higher graded. Amazing Mysteries number 33. 1949. White Pages. As you can see, it's a Marvel comic. 10 cent. The Thing in the Vault. Archie's Rival, Reggie. Now, this is a Bell Features 1950. They're not sequential. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that Bell had a contract for Archie Comics. And what they did was an Archie series, as you can see on the top right. So that's Archie series number 7. The issue is Archie's Rival, Reggie number 2. And there's different comics in the Archie series. Long story short, I didn't win the argument that I had with CGC. They did some Archie series by Bell Features in their population report, but they refused to stick to that, and they labeled this as Archie's Rival Reggie. Anyways, long story. And some arguments you win and some you just move on from. Much like this one. Archie's Rival Reggie number 5. In the series, it's number 20. And those, I think, are the only in the population. Babe Ruth Sports by Super Publications, 1950. Batman number 48. I think there's a few of these graded. This is a low one. And it shows the Bat Cave. National Comics publication, a DC contract. Black Cat Comics number 13 by Super Comics, 1948. White Pages. This one I had done quite a few years ago. Black Hawk number 23. I made a mistake on it. The centerfold is missing. And I probably have that hanging around here somewhere in a box. So it affects the story. It's incomplete. So graded qualified. Nice 10 center. Great cover. Blue Beetle, number 59. And White Pages. And I say that White Pages is really hard to get in Golden Age comics. And to have a Canadian edition, Canadian print comic from the late 40s, early 50s with White Pages, and that's a beauty. I forget who did the cover art on that one, but I used to know. And what's the back look like on the Canadian ones? Could be anything. Usually a Canadian ad. Or just a blank back. Like this one here. You don't see that same back on the American version. Bugs Bunny's Christmas Funnies number 1. Wilson Publishing. Now, Wilson had the contract for the Dell comics. White Pages. Captain Marvel Jr., number 86. Derby Publishing. Canadian edition, 1950. White Pages. Really cool cover. And because the quality of printing in the Canadian editions was less than the American, if you notice on the top where it says Canadian edition number 86, and the 6 actually looks like sort of like a broken 6. So what did CGC say? Oh, we think that's a 5. So I emailed them with my other arguments. They said, yeah, we made a mistake. We should have realized that that is a 6, and we shouldn't have notated that it's a 85 written on the cover. Anyway, they said send it back. So 30, 40 bucks later, I said, hell, I'm not doing it. Dagar Desert Hawk number 22. Great cover. White pages. For those that like the bondage covers, and quite a few people do. Dale Evans Comics number 7. Simcoe Publishing. Photo cover. And at the time, I think it's the only one graded. High grade Detective Comics. I'm going to move my coffee, which is a Tim Hortons, by the way. Detective Comics number 133. Coffee in the morning with Baileys and honey. As you can see with the Canadian version, published in Canada, they're smaller in the number of pages compared to the American counterpart. So an 8.0 with that print quality is extremely impressive. It's from 1948. Back cover. Detective Comics number 138. Another National Comics publication. 1948. Printed in Canada. Published in Canada. Whatever. A 4.0. That's what the back looks like. Exciting Comics. Printed by Better Publications, 1949. No difference to the American version. It's a standard comic. But as you can see, the quality is somewhat less. Probably a plate issue. It's an Alex Schomburg cover. He's always sought after for his art. This is number 67. Story on those ones, the other one beside it. Sent these into CGC. I note all of my Canadian issues and the reason for it if I can, but they don't seem to follow instructions. They do it their way. This came back as a standard publication, and I had to email them, go through another 3 months of sending it back, and they corrected the problem because it is a better publication. White Pages, issue number 69. It's the last Black Terror story. Interesting. White Pages. Fight Comics number 76 from 1951. Superior Comics did the Fiction House comics. That's just a beautiful art. Maurice Whitman did a lot of these. You don't hear his name much, but when you see the covers that Maurice Whitman did, the art is just, and the stories too, they're just really, really great. Great art. In the back, there you go. Fight Comics number 82. Another Maurice Whitman. In the back cover. I sent in quite a few 4-color, and one of the things I like to do is send in the Canadian editions just so that they get noted, that they're on the pop report, that they exist. And so I like to do that, and that's why I sent in quite a few 4-color, and I do have more to go. Not just 4-color, more Canadian editions. 4-color number 200. Bugs Bunny Super Sleuth in a 7.0. Four-color number 201. A Walt Kelly cover. Christmas with Mother Goose. Beautiful red. And at the time, I think this was the only one graded. I don't know now, but 4-color 205, Wilson Publishing. 1948, Walt Kelly art, Santa Claus Funnies. And on the back, just so you see, Merry Christmas. It's coming. Feels it. 4-color 217, a Bugs Bunny cover. He's the court jester in a 6.0 with white pages. And 4-color 223 in a 6.0, Lost in the Andes Wilson Publishing, 1949. A really cool story. Gotta love the treasure. Donald Duck, the Uncle Scrooge stories. Anyways, on to the next 24. Hope you're having fun. Okay, back with another 24. Coffee break is over. Well, almost. Here we go. 4-color. 234. White pages. Dumbo in Sky Voyage. Wilson, 1949. I'll put these in the box. 4-color 238. Quite popular. Walt Disney's Donald Duck in Voodoo Hoodoo. Carl Barks story, cover, and art. Off-white to white in a 5. Huey, Dewey, and Louie appearance. Really cool story. And another one in a 5 with white pages. And you know what's coming. Another one in a 5.5 with white pages. I had a few, so I said, you know, send them in. They look great. 4-color 263, Donald Duck in Land of the Totem Poles with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, of course. Carl Barks did the story and the art in a 3.0 with white pages. And, yep, a 5.5. Wilson Publishing, 1950, off-white to white. And a 5.5 with white pages. In the back. And I sent this one in. I don't know if there's an American version or if anybody's ever graded one. It's Frank Buck, number 3. Superior Comics did it in 1950. And Frank Buck was extremely popular back in the day. Some nice art. I honestly don't remember who did it. But Superior Comics, 1950. Look it up. Frisky Fables, number 39, Superior Comics. A sought-after comic because it's L.B. Cole. And, of course, most of them he signed on the bottom. Frisky Fables. A Star publication. Superior Comics, 1950. Here's what the back looks like. I think there's 2 graded. I'm not sure. Maybe 3. White pages. Gene Autry Comics, white pages. Wilson Publishing. Again, they had the contract with Dell. It's number 40 from 1950. It's a photo cover. Gunfighter number 8. Superior Comics, 1949. Off-white to white. A Buxom Babe. Great Western title. In the back, of course, Fun Balloons. Another argument with CGC on the way to display this, or title it, I should say. They say Gunhuck 17 because that's the featured story, I believe, or comic that it's from. But it's actually Cowboy Trails. That's what the Canadian publisher Bell Features called this comic, number 33 in their series of Westerns. White pages. So it should say Cowboy Trails number 33, which it does say up here. But that should be the title. And then Gunhuck 17 should be noted, maybe. Joe Manili art. And the back cover. A lot of the Canadian ones at that time, they used like a white cover. It's not a Canadian white, but anyway. Gunsmoke number 3. This is from the Gunsmoke series, Export Publishing, 1949. Featured Masked Marvel and Gunsmoke. Blazing Stories of the West is another way of saying it. This is number 3. Little bondage cover there. In the back, Gunsmoke, number 11, Export Publishing, no date, because it probably doesn't say it on the inside, as I recall, but it's actually 1950, I'm pretty sure. 3.5 of white pages. Walter Johnson did the cover. Indian Fighter, number 4, Bell Features, 1951. Walter Johnson cover. And I'll tell you, between him and L.B. Cole, they did some really nice, colorful art. 7.5, high grade. Jungle Jim, number 15, Better Publications, white pages. Popular back in the day. Kanga Comics, number 14, Superior Comics. And this one, of course, features the bondage cover. It's a 4.0. And I really think Maurice Whitman did the art on that. I don't know if it's noted anywhere. Here's a rare one. I think there's one or two of these graded now. Not sure. Jetman number 27, Bell Features 1951. I don't think there's a comparable American version of this because it was just done in Canada. The cover and stories are from Punch number 15, which was a British publication, I think. Sort of remember reading that as a kid. Number 27, kind of cool. Story on these, Journey into Mystery Annual number 1. They're very tough in Canadian edition comics to clean and press. It's a square-bound comic, 1965 Marvel Comics, Canadian edition, as you can see noted. It's a key issue. It's got Thor, Hercules, but 5.5, I sent in 2. Comic Doctor and a few of us that have done grading with CGC and dealing with Canadian white pages on the back. They didn't sell an ad for it or something. I can't remember the story on it, but boy, they're tough to clean. Anyway, I got a 5.5 on that one. I got a 6 on this one, but I didn't note that it has a slight color touch somewhere. They call it restored. I think it's somewhere on the left here in the black, but I don't know. They caught it. It has white pages, so it can be corrected. It's minor. And there's the white back. So it might be worth sending it back in. I don't know. I've got 2. The Lone Ranger, number 17. Another Dal Wilson, publishing 1949. I don't know if there's any higher than that. That's a 7.0. Great cover on the back. I love that. They used to do the Native Leaders. And this one here is the Lone Ranger number 17. So Chief David Bearspaw, Stoney Tribe, Calgary. Lone Ranger number 30, 1950. It's a painted cover. On the back, Donald Duck. Marvel Tales number 2. Another Canadian edition. King size annual, square bound, a 6.5 from 1965. Origin of the Avengers, origin of the X-Men, Doctor Strange origin. Very cool book. And in a Canadian edition, the white back. Marvel Family, number 32. Anglo-American publication, Canadian edition, 1949. I read another 24. Tim Hortons coffee, still hot. Let's get started. Mutt and Jeff, number 34. National Comics, 7. Got some rare ones in here. In this batch. Some you've maybe never seen before. Northwest Mounties, number 1. White pages. This is actually, in the USA, it's Northwest Mounties number 2. Bondage cover, of course. Our Love, number 1. Don't see that too often. Bell Features, 1949. Nice red cover. Marvel Comics, actually. Plastic Man, number 15. White pages, 3.5. Rangers Comics number 66 from 1952. Superior Comics, white pages. That a beauty. Real Life Comics number 36 in a 7. The only one graded, as I recall. Alex Schomburg, a race car. This is a Pines version, printed, I believe, in Canada. I argued with CGC. They call it a UK edition. I call it Canadian. It's 10 cents. Anyway, didn't win that argument. Remains Pines UK edition. Only one. Highest graded. Real Life Comics number 54 in a 9.2. Standard Comics. Canadian edition, 1950. I believe it's the highest graded. Joe DiMaggio on the front. Tough to Find Comics of Reno Brown. Reno Brown number 52 from 1950. A Bell Features photo cover. Honestly, you just don't see Reno Brown comics around. And very popular back in that time period. I think there was only 3 issues actually in that series. Revealing Romances number 2, Ace International from 1950. White pages, a beautiful painted cover. Alexander Redmond did the cover. Sport Thrills number 12, an L.B. Cole cover. 5.5 white pages. Strange Worlds number 2, Avon, Canadian edition, 1951. Low grade, but beauty. Space cover. Superb Comics. Bell Features 1950 in a 5. It's number 45. And a lot of these, or I should say some of the Canadian editions would feature a splash page on the cover. And not the same cover from that issue in the American version. Superman number 61 in an 8 with white pages. I've had this for quite some time. Used to hang on the wall. A beauty. It is the highest graded Superman number 61. As is this one. Superman 62, Simcoe Publishing on a 7.5 from 1950. Orson Welles on the cover. Highest graded. And this one too, Superman 64. Simcoe Publishing 1950 in white pages 5. Lois Lane on the cover, pretty sure. Again, highest graded. Supreme Comics, number 13. Bell Features, no date, approximately 1950-51. White pages in a 7. Terrific Mystery, number 36. Bell Features, 3.5. I don't think there's a comparable U.S. version. The Texan, number 6. Derby Publishing, 1949. Canadian edition in a 3. Texan number 9, Derby Publishing, 1950, 3.5 white pages. These are Matt Baker covers, by the way, just in case you didn't know. Tim Holt, number 18, featured the Ghost Rider, very early Ghost Rider issues, in a 3. Number 21, Ghost Rider, half the covers, Ghost Rider. Tim Holt, number 21, 1951, white pages. True Adventures number 4. Again, I don't think there's a comparable U.S. version. Sol Brodsky cover. In a 7. Nice action cover. True Western number 3. Bell Features 1950. Now that contained the Whip Wilson number 10 stories. But they titled it, as they should, True Western number 3. White pages. So inconsistent at CGC. They should title it as Canadian editions were titled, not what it contains. Two Fisted Tales number 27 from 1952 in a 6.5 with white pages. On to the last bunch. Hope you're still having fun. Enjoy. All right, the last lot. Get started here. Two Gun Western number 5 with white pages. Bell Features. Two Gun Western number 7. 5. Bell Features 1951. These had Apache Kid in them. And a white pager. Two Gun Western number 8. Apache Kid. Unusual Comics number 8. Bell features no date. I think it was 1950-ish. Zago, Jungle Prince. And this, I believe, is a splash page from inside the American version. And they use that on the cover here. And a 4.5. Warbirds number 3. Superior Comics 1953. White pager in a 7. Great cover on that one. Western Adventures, no number, 1950, Export Publishing, Canadian edition. Interesting cover. I think it's a painted cover. That's what the back looks like. Teddy Bear Records, Canada. Western Adventures Comics, no number, number 5, actually. Ace International, 1949. Western Bandits number 1, an Avon comic, Canadian edition from 1952 in a 5.5. In the back. Western Love, a photo cover, Publication Services, 1950 in a 5. Can't remember her name, it'll come to me. But anyway, and the guy. White Rider and Superhorse. There's some rare L.B. Cole covers in the Canadian editions. Superior Comics 1950 in a 4. And then a 4.5 L.B. Cole cover, White Rider and Superhorse number 6. That one there is a lot more popular, I believe, than this one. An L.B. Cole cover with some fantastic colors to it. And right behind it is a 9 in white pages, Canadian version, Superior Comics, 1951. And when I had this graded, and I haven't checked in a while, but this not only is the highest graded Canadian version, White Rider Superhorse number 6, but there was no American version in a 9. So, a real highlight to the collection. Had it for quite some time. But it's going to be for sale. Wild Bill Hickok, number 1, Superior Comics, 1949. In a 7. Wild Bill Hickok number 3, 1950, Superior Comics, white pages. Wild Western number 9, Bell Features, 1949, white pages. Russ Heath does the art inside. It's a photo cover. Wonder Comics, number 20. It's a rare book in the Canadian version. Better Publications. It's from 1948. Lastly is Zoot 11. Bell Features 1950. And that featured JoJo Comics, number 15 inside. But they called it Zoot, number 11. There you have it. Hope you enjoyed it. Canadian comic editions from the Golden Age for the most part. Enjoy the day. Have some fun.